In less than 30 days, I'll be moving into this mansion. But it wasn't built from one lucky trade. It was built from thousands of trades, following simple rules like the 1-minute scalping strategy that I'm about to show you.
The same concepts I used on this account, and this account too, all focused on achieving a high win rate. Now let's get started. There are only 4 possible outcomes for this 1-minute scalping strategy. Price retraces before moving down, which is a win. Price trades within the range for our session, which is a win. Price rejects completely and pushes out the top of the range, which is a win. Or price breaks out the bottom of the range, which is a loss. So in 3 out of 4 possible outcomes, I'm winning my trades. And in my live account I showed you in the intro, there's been 131 trades with a 77% win rate since the beginning of the year. Now, I don't promise you the same results as me. I've been trading for 17 years, but if you let me teach you this 1-minute scalping strategy, I won't let you down. For step 1, we're just setting up our opening range using the Fibonacci. We're starting on the 15-minute chart, looking at the 9:30 a.m. Eastern candle. This candle goes up, it goes down, and we wait for that candle to close. When I get the candle close, I come to the Fibonacci right here. I mark out the top, the bottom, and I swing this all the way over here. This maps out the high and the low of my trading session, which are the levels I use for my entries. And for this strategy, I'm only using the 38.2 and the 61.8, and those are my profit level. Now, I trade this strategy on any asset, futures, Forex, crypto, stocks. Now, before I get into step 2, let me show you on a live chart. I mark out the bottom and the top of the 9:30 a.m. candle using the Fibonacci. I come to the 1-minute time frame. I set up a long position, and within a few minutes, if all goes well, I'm smashing my take profit. For step 2, I'm looking for a manipulation candle. If we get this candle, then I'm looking at an A+ trade setup, and I'm feeling really good about my morning. That's because when there is manipulation, the potential for a reversal is very high. The concept is simple. Institutions need liquidity to fill large orders, so they manipulate price in one direction during the opening range. Retail traders take the bait, enter the trade, then institutions fill their orders and move that price the other way. Now, how do we identify a manipulation candle? Come up to indicators, type ATR, and get ATR candle size. Now, double click on one of the bars. We're gonna set the length here to 96. On the 15-minute time frame here, that represents roughly 1 day. The ATR measures the average size of recent candles. If the candle is larger than the ATR, it signals an unusually large move. The red line is the ATR, and the gray bars are the candle size. If the gray bar is above the gray line, I consider that a manipulation candle. My calculation is a simple 100% of ATR. I've seen other traders teach this with really low percentages, and that doesn't make any sense because it's less likely to be a manipulation candle and give a lower win rate. And this 1-minute scalping strategy is all about high win rate. So now that we have our manipulation candle, we can move into step 3. Step 3 is all about entering A+ trade setups. We've got our Fibonacci mapped on the range. We have our manipulation candle confirmed. And when that manipulation candle is bearish, we want the retracement. We're looking for buy trades. And when that manipulation candle is bullish, I'm looking for retracement sell trades. So on the buy example, I'm coming down to the 1-minute time frame because this is a 1-minute scalping strategy, and that's where I'm doing my entries. So I would be setting my limit order along this line right here for a buy trade. I would set my take profit to that first Fibonacci line right there. And so as soon as price touches this line, I will get into my trade, targeting the first Fibonacci level. And for my stop loss, it's less mechanical. For the stop loss, we can go with a 1-to-1. You can go with a 1-to-1.5, but ideally you look left, and if there's some sort of price action here, you can adjust the stop loss accordingly. So with my limit order set, as soon as the price comes to that level right there, I will be into the trading position, and then look, I smashed a take profit. Now let's go to our sell example. I'll show you this, and then I'll back test this for a full week. The Fibonacci range is set up. We've got the manipulation candle. So I come down to the 1-minute time frame, and as soon as price hits this line right here, I have a limit order looking to sell. I'll be targeting the green line, and if I scroll out here, you'll see we actually have a pretty strong level of resistance right here at our entry, and that never hurts either. So now I'm simply waiting for price to tap into that line. It tapped in immediately and started shooting down hitting that take profit level. And I'm telling you, this actually works. Using this strategy right now, I'm on an 8 trade win streak, as you can see right here, on a live trading account of mine that has now hit 400% just this morning in about 5 months. Now, I'm gonna bring you with me for a full 5-day back test to show you how this works in the real markets on different assets. Let's start with trade 1 on Bitcoin. I'll show you gold, Forex, US30, a different asset on every day. Step 1, I'm just waiting for that 15-minute candle to close. Step 2, I'm drawing the Fibonacci, extending it over. Step 3, I'm making sure that I have a manipulation candle. That means that the candle size is above the ATR, which it is. Step 4, I'm coming to the 1-minute time frame, setting up my limit order along this line right here. Then I am simply waiting for price to come to my level, trigger me into the trading position like it did right there, inevitably come all the way down and smash my take profit. My take profit, of course, is at that TP level right there. You can see I have it right there at that green line, and my stop loss on this one would be a little bit higher like this. I'd be looking for about a 1.5. That's usually what I'm looking for. So that right there would be a winning trade. Now, why does this work so well? Because the market doesn't just go straight up. The market comes up, pulls back, pushes up, pulls back, right? We have the impulse, the correction, the impulse, the correction. So right here, we have an impulse with the manipulation candle, and then we catch the correction on the way back. All right, so we're 1-0 on the second trade. I'm now going to teach you when to target more profit. So first things first, we always want to get that candle, mark up our Fibonacci, and this one is just ticking the manipulation. That's fine. If it's close, I'm going to trade it still. If you look over here at this one here, it's still really close. I would probably trade this as well, okay? Now, before we switch over to the next time frame, we should mark out this obvious level of demand right here. You can see this candle right here pushed up so aggressively, created a big fair value gap, which is starting to be filled by these candles here. Now I'm going to go down to the 1-minute time frame, and I'm going to tell you when and how to target more profit when using this strategy. Here we are on the 1-minute time frame. We don't need the ATR for this section. And look, we've mapped out our 15-minute level of demand. You can see price pushed up very aggressively out of this area right here. So that's a good thing because we have our trade entry right here. We have our limit order at this section. So on the 1-minute time frame, we've got the top of our range, the bottom of our range. And normally what are we doing? We're going to set our limit order right here. And that's not bad. We do have a level of demand from this area too, but I prefer the lower level of demand, right? This is where the price originally pushed up. And this is how I get more profit when I'm using this trading strategy. Now, instead of setting my limit order where I normally would set it, which is right here, because I have that obvious level of demand, I'm actually just going to put my limit order at the level of demand down here. The reason I'm doing that is because demand is king, okay? Demand for me is the strongest level. So let's go ahead and play that out. You can see we came back to demand. So at this point, I would be in my trading position. I could target this level right here. I would put my stop loss below the level of demand still, like a normal demand trade. And then I could continue to let the position run up and see exactly what happens. Is that demand strong? It is. And I smash the take profit, still using that exact same level right here. But if we looked up here, there's a very obvious level of supply here as well. So that's giving us a better target. You know, at this point, we could set our stops to break even, make this a risk-free trade, and we could try and see if price is going to come all the way up to that level of supply. And there it does. So that would give us an absolutely massive trade. And if we looked at the original stop loss, that's about a 1-to-3 risk reward ratio. So it is possible when using this strategy to not be completely mechanical if you have the skills. Now we are 2-0, and I'm jumping into our third trade. This is a Forex trade, and I'm starting it right on the 5-minute time frame. On this one, I had my limit order set right here. I waited for price to come back to that level. You could see it tapped in, but it went against me right away, and I actually lost this position. This was a loss. Now in this loss, if we go back to the 15-minute time frame, you can see I had this mapped out, but we didn't really get the manipulation candle. You can see the red line is coming above that bar. Now I told you in past examples, if it's a little under, I generally still take the trading position, but for an even higher win rate, focus on just the candles above that level. I know it's less trades, but I find it works even better. All right, so we have 2 wins, 1 loss so far. We are now moving on to gold. And with the last 2 trades, I'm going to show you the importance of ranges to keep win rates high when using any trading strategy or this 1-minute scalping strategy. So we just had our 9:30 a.m. candle. I'm going to put my Fibonacci on there. You can see we are right up on that 100 ATR again. And we also happen to be at a nice little level of demand right here, but we should also scroll out and take a look at our ranges, right? So we have our top of the range right here. This is more of a liquidity grab, an aberration. And then we have the bottom of the range, which is actually in line right here with that level of demand. We could pull that up right there. So we box in the top and the bottom of the move. Now this then becomes our trading range. So we want to really look for buys at the bottom and sells at the top because the market ranges 70 to 80% of the time. So as we come to the 1-minute time frame here, you can see we've got our range top, we have our range bottom, we've got our limit order set up right here, right at that line. And on this one, we are targeting the 382, just following the strategy. Obviously, on a trade like this, you can go for more profit, but you can see we tapped in and smashed the take profit. Now, if I was to go for more profit on this position, then I would have to kind of pull my stop loss down here. And this would really change this. This would no longer be a scalping position, right? Because I would want to have my stop loss below this wick, and then I would be targeting, you know, all the way up here. And we can actually play that out if you like. Let's just speed it up and see exactly what would happen if I would have got that right off of our level. You can see price comes down a little bit and does shoot up and would have hit the take profit. So that would have worked out okay, but the risk reward would have been similar. Now let's get into our last example. It's our last example. We're on US 30, the M15 time frame. First thing we want to do, we want to get that candle, mark that thing up with the Fibonacci like this. We've got our obvious manipulation candle right here. It's a big one. It's above 100% ATR. This is exactly what I want to see. And because it's a buy candle right here, I want to be looking for that reversal because the market impulses, corrects, right? So we're trying to get this correction right here to take profit right here. And on that 15-minute time frame, let's scroll out. Let's set up our ranges, right? We've got an obvious range down here. That's our support range. We have a range up here, and then we have another range right here, which is tapped recently, which we have just entered into right here. And we recently tapped off of that level right here. So it's very possible we are now trading in this new range right here. So let's come down to the 1-minute time frame here, and we are ready to play the position out. Okay, we tapped into that level, tapped into our trade, and then we are waiting for price to push down and come to that final level right here at the bottom and smash our take profit perfectly. Now on a trade like this, if I was looking for more profit again, I would consider coming down here, something very, very aggressive, but then I would just make sure I set my stop loss to break even. So if the trade comes up, it knocks me out. But if it comes all the way down, right? If that level, right? If that level is a good level, then maybe we get a huge trade, right? You could see we pushed off of this level aggressively here. If you think, hey, maybe it might push off aggressively here, we can extend that trading position and see exactly how that goes. Maybe you use a trailing stop. Let's go ahead and play that out and see what would have happened. You could see right there, it would have smashed the take profit, and it looks like it kept going and kept going and kept going for an absolutely huge trade. Now that's my high win rate 1-minute scalping strategy. Please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, comment, take a look at the links in the video description, join my VIP trading room if you want to learn more from me, or just watch this video right here. Definitely watch this video right here, and I'll be back next week. Much love.